That's basically all you have to do again, guys. Down the wing, whipped past plus into the box, and it's a goal. It's wraps for your opponent, honestly. If you guys want coins for FC24, make sure you check out MMOEXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're very fast, they're very cheap, they're very reliable, and if you use my code REMA, you can get yourself a lovely 5% discount. So, what's up guys, it's Ash here and welcome back to another video. In today's installment of Meta Rat Tactics, I'm going to be showing you some 5-2-2-1 tactics and instructions that you can use to be an absolute meta rat in this game, concede like pretty much no goals and just win a lot of games. The thing about this 5-2-2-1 compared to the 5-4-1 that I showed you yesterday is this 5-2-2-1 actually has two CDMs instead of centre mid, so the defensive positions of these players is even more problematic for your opponents because it's even harder to get past. In addition to this, guys, the front line lines up similarly to the 4-3-2-1, which is another one of the top formations in this game. So you have like the two forwards and then the strikers. So you get a mix and match of being a back five rat and also the 4-3-2-1. So yeah, these tactics are absolutely ratty. I'm not going to say I like using them, but there's no doubt like how effective they are. So like I said, I'm going to start cashing in on it because who cares about this game anyway. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's go. Alrighty then, guys, so it's technically a 5-2-2-1, but some people class it as a 5-4-1, so this is the one we're using. And yeah, these are the tactics. Pretty standard, to be honest with you guys, but we're going to run through them just in case some of you don't get it, and then we'll look at the instructions and get into a game. So defensive style, I would always recommend balance regardless of the formation you use, because it does give you the best control over your defense. When you want to press your opponent, you can, and when you want to drop off and be more passive, you can also do that. So balance is by far the best, in my opinion. That being said, if you want to use pressure tactics because that's something you prefer, that is absolutely fine. Go right ahead. Now moving on to the defensive width, guys, I always suggest a width between 40 and 50. Now the reason I suggest this margin, I have it on 45, or this range, sorry, is because it gives you a nice narrow and compact defense. So it blocks out all those attacks through the middle, doesn't give your opponent any space through the middle, which makes it much more tougher for them to score. Now the reason I say not to lower it below like 40 is because it's important not to make this too narrow, because otherwise there's just way too much space down the wing and your opponent can just run down the line and that kind of thing. So you want to have that balance where you are narrow but you are not too narrow at the same time. Now moving on to the depth, honestly guys, you can pretty much use whichever depth you want. I will give you a couple of suggestions here. If you love that pressure stuff, if you love the AI defending for you, if you love winning the ball high up the pitch, you know, you can use the 71 depth. This is what a lot of people use. It completely congests the middle area of the pitch, makes it very difficult for anyone to play through it because the AI just goes crazy on the people with the ball and the passing options. So yeah, you can use 71 depth if you like. Me personally, I don't really like using it because, you know, I like to think I'm pretty good at manually defending, and when you use 71 depth, it kind of takes away the control from you because the AI is doing a lot and you don't really have much to do. So I prefer something like 60 or 65, where we still have that higher defensive line, we just have a bit more control over when we press and defend manually. Now, moving on to the build-up play, guys, I've said this a lot recently and I'll continue to say it. I recommend balanced because it's the best at every type of build-up. You know, these settings here, they are really bad. For example, slow build-up, when you use it, your players just move really slowly and it doesn't assist you in building up slowly at all. It just means your AI is completely useless and delayed. So no one likes that either. For fast build-up, they just move around like absolute, you know, maniacs. You know, I was going to say something else, but I didn't. But yeah, they move around in a really unorganized way. It's very difficult to predict, and a lot of the time you'll just lose the ball. So I think balanced is definitely the best way to go, and I would highly recommend it. Now, for the chance creation, guys, direct passing is an absolute must in my opinion, because it's the only way to consistently break down the AI defense in this game. When you use direct passing, guys, what happens is your attackers will make these runs, and then the opposition defender will follow your attacker that is making the run. Once that defender has overcommitted to the run that your attacker has made, then your attacker will then track back. So then there's like a big gap between the defender and then the attacker, which is why people can then pass across or cut back, because that's how this works. So it fits into the meta of this game. It is very boring, but it is very effective nonetheless. Now, for the attacking width, This is kind of up to you. All you really need to know is the lower the width, the more narrow your attack is, and then the higher the width, the wider it is. So I like to go for something in between because it is a wider formation with the wing backs. I don't like to make it too narrow, so I just go a bit over the default and just pop it on 50, but it makes no biggie. You can pretty much do what you want. For the players in the box, guys, I have this on 6 at the moment. This is so we can get like quite a few players into that penalty area, but we don't overcommit into the box. So if we lose the ball, we're not always going to get counter-attacked. And then for the corners, I have these on 2 because sometimes I cross it, other times I play it short. So again, I don't want to overcommit, but it's nice to have a couple of players in there if I want to cross the ball. And then for the free kicks, because I don't really ever cross them or pass them, I just shoot them most of the time. I just have them on 1 because I don't like overcommitting people into the box and then getting counter-attacked. So yeah, there are the tactics. Let's move on to the instructions. Now for the player instructions, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, very, very basic, but it works and I'll explain why. So striker, of course, same with every formation, guys. You're going to see this everywhere. Stay central and get in behind. Of course, we want them on stay central because we have like wider forwards, which kind of cover the wider areas. We also have wing backs, which can go into the wider areas. So we don't need this striker getting into the wide positions. We want him to be in the middle so he can be relied upon. It's also useful if you want to cross the ball. You always know he's there pretty much. We also have him on getting behind to force the runs out of the player. Now, mixed attack is honestly terrible when your opponent is using like pressure tactics or 71 depth because your player just gets lost. They don't know where to go. But when you have them on getting behind, they always look to make those runs and, you know, get past the press or beat the press. So stay central, getting behind. Now, for the wide forwards, guys, the left forward and the right forward, we pop them on come back on defense and get into the box across. Now, come back on defense makes this defend in a 5-4-1 flat. So if you have both these forwards on come back on defense, they'll sit next to those 2 CDMs and fill in the gap. So it makes it even more difficult for your opponent to get through because they have 4 midfielders to pass, you know, covering the length of the width of the pitch, sorry, and then you have the back 5. So it's pretty much impossible to break down. And then we also have them on get into the box across so they do not hesitate in getting into the penalty area. Now, moving on to the CDMs, guys. I suggest having one of them, your more defensively capable one, on stay back while attacking, cut passing lanes, and cover centre. This is to bring balance to the midfield. You have at least one back, you know, to intercept the ball or just, you know, help you out defensively. You don't want to have them both committing forward because you just become open. So one on stay back. Cut passing lanes is great because they always look to intercept those passes, break up the play, and regain possession. And then cover centre to cover the middle because, like I said, we have the wide forwards coming back to cover the wings, so we only need this player to cover the middle. Now, for the left CDM, we give this player a bit more of a freedom to roam. Somebody that can go forward, somebody that can defend, somebody that can basically do a bit of everything. Rolfo fits this role perfectly because she has crazy attack, crazy attacking stats, sorry, and also crazy defensive stats. So we just leave her alone, let her do what she wants, and then just pop her on cover centre because we don't need them to cover the wider areas, guys. Now for the wing backs, I pop them on join the attack and overlap. Now the reason I do this is because these forwards here, if we look here, they are in like quite narrow positions, you know. So this formation, if you don't commit your wing backs forward, you don't have a lot of width and it can be difficult to beat players that are pressing you or just, you know, get through as a whole. So what you want to do is put these wingers on join the attack and overlap, so they will always join you on the attack and then they'll make the overlapping runs to give you that extra width. So then you have the 2 forwards in the narrow area and then these 2 wing backs in the wider area, making it very, very difficult to stop you. What's even more advantageous about this formation is when you do commit these wing backs forward, you already have like 3 centre backs back at a time. So it doesn't really matter if they get caught out or such because you already have quite a lot of defensive players back. So I just like to do this. It's very, very overpowered, guys. For the 3 centre backs, we leave them alone, and then the keeper, we leave them alone. But yeah, guys, they're the tactics and instructions for this 5-2-2-1. Let's go get into a game and try it out. Alright, so I just subbed in this hemp that we got from Rivals Rewards earlier, just to try her out instead of Foden, so let's see what she's got as well. So yeah, let's get into it. That's basically all you have to do again, guys. Down the wing, whipped pass plus into the box, and it's a goal. It's wraps for your opponent, honestly. Oh, she didn't commit to that. Why? Oh, nearly. She can whip it in, can't she? Yep. That's a penalty. Thank you very much. This might be game over already, guys. And to be honest with you, I can't play another game right now because I've got a Mackey's order coming in. And I don't want to miss it. Come on, Pen Moss. 99 pens. Bang. Oh, you're not saving that one. Thank you. And that might be a quit. Yeah, there we go, guys. That's the gameplay for today. Sorry I couldn't play more games. I will make sure I play a couple more tomorrow for you. Because I know you guys are starting to enjoy the gameplay parts of the videos. But yeah, that's basically it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it useful. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace out.